Like Telly Savalas.
I mean, for real. Look.
We are recording, by the way.
I look so... Are we really?
Yeah, could you do that tongue thing again?
I don't know what I did. Golly.
That's what happens to get these new cameras. Ladies and gentlemen, we have upgraded. We're no longer completely in the dark.
And we apparently need like a makeup person or something because I'm so shiny. And
it's coming.
Sweaty.
Season 2. We must start somewhere. And then what we'll do in the next season is we'll have like this screen protector that gets the bugs off the
Who knows? We might even be in a studio or something by then.
I mean, it's possible.
You just never really know.
Doubtful, but it's possible.
You never know. We got a lot of people talking about this show.
That's right. Me, you.
And all of our friends. There has been some people reach out, though. So, seriously, I appreciate it. Anybody and everybody that's sent messages and texts and, like, ideas about the show. There's been several. It's actually been pretty surprising for me. So, thank y'all for watching.
Thank you, guys. So, welcome to another episode of Sips, Rips, and Flix. I'm your host, Brandon Crouch, and
Kevin Head.
So, tonight we're going to do something that's been recommended pretty much since we started this, and it is, I don't know, you can't find it. It's hard to find, except unless you're Kevin. And he finds it everywhere. Yeah,
so pretty much anytime I walk into an ABC store, I find it, and I tell Brandon, and he's like, I cannot believe you found that. So,
do you want to show the people?
Sure.
What you find?
So, Buffalo Trace, everyone. It is the most, I don't know if it's the most, but highly sought after bourbon. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey.
What is Kentucky curved bourbon?
I don't know.
What does this mean by straight bourbon?
I don't know.
Well,
maybe, yeah, because there's a blended. There's a blended bourbon.
Whiskey, so maybe that's.
I feel like I'm learning something from these podcasts.
Or we're just making it up. See, if you sound convincing, people will be like, boys know what they're talking about.
We definitely do not know what we're talking about, everyone.
So, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. Pop the cork in that thing and pour it.
All right. So, we're just going to get down to the get down, huh?
I mean, that's what we're here for. Did you ever see that movie called Next to Kin?
Is Joe Pesci in it?
No, Joe Pesci. No, Patrick Swayze.
Oh, yeah.
He's the lawman, and his brother is Liam Neeson. Briar.
Oh, yeah.
Remember he's playing the violin in the house. He's looking at his wife, and he goes, "Do you believe in hereafter?"
Yeah,
then
I do.
You know what I'm here for. And he starts chasing up the stairs.
Are you sure Joe Pesci's not in that?
Now you're thinking My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, that is what I'm thinking.
Which is okay, totally different. Totally different.
I've never seen My Cousin Vinny, ever.
And you want to give me down the road about E.T., and you've never, Marissa Tomei won an Oscar for her performance in that movie.
I don't think you can compare My Cousin Vinny with E.T.
I just did.
I don't think you can do that.
Well, I think you can.
Two totally different things.
And when she starts to talk to you about a single plus a double tranny on the skies, you just wait. You're gonna like it. I bet Maria's seen it.
Probably. I'll watch it.
All right. So, I think what we're supposed to do when I actually grab that because I want to see what the alcohol content is because I heard this weekend when I was talking to someone who'd be drinking the bourbon, 45%, which means it's 90 proof. So you're supposed to let them sweat a little bit, let that ice melt to help. Because supposedly, when the alcohol content is 90%, that alcohol hits the taste buds and kind of just shocks them, so you don't get to hit those notes and flavors. If it's below 90, you get more of the flavors. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So below 90, you don't have to let it sit?
I mean, supposedly, it's the higher the alcohol content, the harsher it is, like the bite.
I would agree with that.
You don't taste all the crap that they tell you that you're supposed to be tasting.
Oh, so you're actually supposed to pour them and let them sit.
I think that's right.
For a bit.
Yeah. I like to pour them and let them sweat. Or maybe that's called breathing.
I like to pour mine and let it sit until all the ice melts before I even touch it. That's what I like to do.
So to be fair, we have drank Buffalo Trace before, so this is not the first time we're here.
But, so this will be the interesting thing, though. So the first bourbon, since I've been an adult, that I tried was Buffalo Trace.
Were you drinking bourbon as a child?
Well, just younger. You know, you're at a party and somebody's got a bottle of something and you just drink whatever they have. So then, like, I don't know, 3 months ago when I decided I was going to join in on the bourbon craze and bought some Buffalo Trace, it's the first one that I actually tasted. So since then, I've had a good amount of different ones.
Do you think you have found a favorite yet, or are you still looking for it?
Still looking. But what's going to be interesting is I've not had Buffalo Trace since I've had all the others.
Okay.
So we've had the Jefferson's Ocean.
Right.
We've had.
I think it's the only bourbon we've done, right?
It's the only one. It's the only one we've done. But also, like at my birthday party, we had
Woodford Reserve.
Woodford Reserve and something else.
There's something with honey.
Oh, that was good.
You put that with Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I have that in there too.
How many people think say Coca-Cola, or they just say Coke?
I like to say Coca-Cola Classic. I don't know why. I just do.
It's gotta,
have these sweated enough?
I think so. I think the people want us to see.
I feel scared for some reason.
Oh my God, you drank it before.
I know, but it's been a while.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers
to Buffalo Trace. So good. It's smooth. Smooth. It's a little burn. I don't know what I'm supposed to be tasting because I don't taste it, but it is delicious.
So here's what I'll say.
Go ahead.
Since I've had Buffalo Trace, I've had probably 5 or 6 other bourbons.
Yeah.
And most of them cost more than Buffalo Trace. Now that I'm coming back to this one and tasting it,
yeah,
it definitely feels more smooth than everything I've tasted.
I think that's true. And the crazy thing about this is not that expensive. What is it, $30 a bottle?
Yeah, 35. I think 35 or 40.
I don't think it's 40.
I think actually, like online, it's $29.99 in ABC store. I think it's 34 or something. Yeah, $34.99.
Somewhere in that neighborhood. Man, it's a good one.
If you can find it. I mean, they should raise the price to like $500 a bottle is what they should.
Well, hell, it don't matter what they make it. If they only going to send you 5 bottles at a time, it doesn't matter.
So, interestingly enough, at the ABC store, one time I went and asked, hey, by any chance, do you have any Buffalo Trace? And the guy just went, nah, we don't. So, he told me Buffalo Trace is the only liquor that they cannot order. They never know when it's coming, how much is coming, or anything. So they are just as surprised as anybody else when it shows up.
So do you think that Buffalo Trace created, like, is it marketing? Is it just because it's so rare to get? Like I
mean, I do think that helps the appeal of it. Is anything that's hard to find, it creates its own buzz. You know, like It becomes the sought after thing. Like, oh, look what I found. Let's all get it. But it's also good. I think it is. I think that's why it's. I think that's why it's popular.
From somebody who, like yourself, who never drank, maybe we should put the. Oh man, we forgot to do.
What?
Got to pull this out of our special something.
Oh yeah, I thought about that earlier too.
On the next episode.
Yeah.
Maybe we should put this right here. But I think it's marketing. You know, it's in what is it? Demand.
Yeah, it's definitely in demand.
So
it's hard to find. It really is hard to find. I have gotten lucky, and I think it's because I don't care about it at all. And I would just walk in places and be like, "Hey, you got any Buffalo Trace?" And so I've found it three or four times now. 3 times, I think.
And I have found it 0 in my life. So I want you to tell them the story the first time you went into the Mount Airy ABC store, because that's a good story. Because you had never even tried it. You never even looked for it in your life.
No, so I was in Salisbury.
Salisbury.
No, I'm sorry. Moxville. I was in Moxville.
Do they sell liquor there?
Yeah.
Okay. We
love this.
That was a turn out.
We love this restaurant in Moxville called Domingo's. If you've never been there, you should try it. Very good Spanish restaurant. So good. We left there. There's an ABC store in the parking lot behind it, and it's beside a Tractor Supply. It's really odd ABC store. Anyway, walked in, and I was just kind of looking on the regular shelf of bourbons, and I didn't see it, but I also didn't know what I was looking for. I was just reading labels. And the lady walked by and asked if I needed any help. And I said, actually, do you guys by any chance have any Buffalo Trace? And she did this, like, looked at me like with this secretive look and was like, I think we might have some in the And I went and I did like excuse me? And she was like, I think we might have some in the back. Let me go check. So she goes back there. And then she comes by, walks by me and goes, he's got it, some back there. But she kept walking, so I didn't know what to do. So I was just waiting. So he comes out and I was like, hey, I'm waiting on Buffalo Trace. He walks past me and does a head nod, like a come up to the counter type head nod. So I go up to the counter. Yeah, so I go up to the counter, and she's at the register, and she's looking at me like she don't know what's going on. And I'm like, hey, remember the Buffalo Trace? She was like, oh. She's like, she reached under the counter, had already put it in a bag, and set it up and told me how much it was, and I paid. And she said, we don't like to advertise that we have it. She said, as a matter of fact, I've put 2 back for myself.
So here's what's crazy about that story. We don't like to advertise. Number one, you have it. Number two, no one's in the store but you and her and this other dude.
And the random stalker guy, I guess.
And honestly, when you first told me this story, it almost felt like you were buying like illegal drugs.
I felt like I was buying illegal drugs. Like I hid it like kind of under my shirt when I was going to the car. And Maria was like, what are you doing? I was like, you have no idea what just happened in there. Like, I don't know if there's cocaine in my bag or what. I have no idea.
What's going on? I just wanted to buy legal food.
Like, I think Buffalo Trace means cocaine in Moxville. I don't know.
It might. It could be this right here is the what's it called? Damn it! What's the mating call? Boone County mating call. It says this is a Moxville mating call. For those who don't know that reference, that is the wonderful whites of West Virginia. Check that out.
Oh, God, that's good.
You'll never look at your own family the same.
Oh, Jesco. He's classic.
You know, speaking of Jesco, I saw a documentary. I was watching Fast and Loud when they opened up their bar and their restaurant, and they had Hank III come play, and on the back had Jesco White on his leather
on his jacket.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you, when I'm drinking this, though, you know what it makes me feel like?
A man.
It does. It makes me feel like a rugged damn man. And you know what I watched Yellowstone. This is what I want to drink while watching Yellowstone.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because I feel like you can't just drink, I don't know, some old Bud Select 55.
Which I just learned about tonight. Yeah. It kind of makes me feel like a man, too. Like, I feel like I want to just be sitting by a fire with my boots on.
Right.
Drinking my Buffalo Trace.
Even if I own boots, I feel like I should wear them.
It's good. It really is good. It makes me feel hot, though.
Well, I just think that's the
hot.
Well, you're hot natured.
Sweat.
You're glistening.
I need to. Where's that makeup person at?
I need someone to blotch me. Is that what it's called?
Probably. Blotching, yeah.
Or Blant. Blotch and Blant. No, Blanton's is another one I heard that's really good. Blanton's, but I've never seen it, so I can't buy it.
I supposedly have a bottle coming at Christmas, so if we're still doing a podcast by Christmas,
if we're still sipping, riffing, and flicking,
we might be. Nobody else might be watching, but we'll be hanging out.
It's not really for everybody else; it's really for us.
Yeah,
it's really just an excuse for us to.
Our wives let us hang out and have drinks, so whatever.
So I didn't think we were going to do this, but I kind of accidentally stepped in it.
Mm-hmm.
But can we talk about Yellowstone?
I've not seen Sunday night's episode.
So I don't necessarily mean we have to give it away.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, for you folks out there who's looking for something new, now it's not on Netflix, so you're not going to find it there. Can you find it on Hulu, Gavin?
No. It's on Paramount Network.
Right. But how can someone, like, how do you watch it?
I watch it on a streaming app called Philo, and it has Paramount Network as one of its channels.
Okay.
So it DVRs it for me. You can also get the Paramount Network app on if you have cable, and you can download it to like Roku and stuff too. I think it's maybe $4.99 a month or something.
Or you can go with Limitless Streams and get all of it for free. Shout out to James Ferry. You're killing it.
Thank you for our sponsorship.
That's right.
I'm just going to start naming people as sponsors.
If you want to know what Limitless Stream is, you can check them out at episode 15 of Appetite for Destruction.
Yeah. And thank you for your sponsorship.
That's right.
James.
Thanks, James. But seriously, if you are number one, if you're looking for a good TV show.
A good, wholesome family show.
Definitely not. Number one, if you love Kevin Costner, you're going to love this. You're going to love this show.
This is his best character ever, I think. Other than the Bodyguard. I got a soft spot for the Bodyguard.
I mean, yeah, Dances with Wolves too, though.
It's pretty good.
Tin Cup.
Ooh, I forgot about Tin Cup. That's my favorite character. Sorry, Tin Cup.
Crash.
Yeah,
I don't know. We could go through a whole Kevin Costner category, and I'm fine with it because there's few people in this world who have stolen my life. Kevin Costner is one of them. The other is Mark Wahlberg. They have stolen my life. How? I couldn't tell you, but they've stolen it. Not that I'm upset about it. However, if you like the, it's set in Yellowstone. They have like the largest land out there, and they're still like ranchers, old school ranchers. And Kevin Costner runs everything. Nothing goes on with politics and the council and all this other stuff without going through him. And it's a very complex family. You think everything's beautiful on the outside. It's shot very well. You know, the scenery is absolutely beautiful. The big sky, the mountains, and but they are absolutely crazy. Yeah, calculated crazy. But they look perfect on the outside, but they are a mess on the inside. From his children, but they're all together. They're a family unit. You know, you don't cross the family. And there are people who try. It doesn't end well for them.
No,
it doesn't.
So, you know, my favorite thing about Yellowstone is the dynamic of the characters and that they are a family. And it's kind of like, it is that family mentality. Like, I'll kill you and slap you around, but nobody else can say anything about you or do anything. Like, we're still family.
Right.
And just the whole, the twists and turns and they're trying to, you know, the main theme is they're trying to save their land and their ranch because some big industry land, like, I don't know, developers are coming in.
Casinos.
They want to make a casino and all that stuff. So they're basically trying to keep their land that's been in their family for, you know,
centuries.
Yeah.
And Kevin Costner's, I think he realizes as you get into it, like the grip that he has on 200,000 acres or something crazy or whatever, and trying to preserve it, that grip is loosening the older that he gets.
Right.
But he also doesn't have, he has children that he can leave it to, but he doesn't have the ones in the right spot that can really run it.
Yeah.
You know? And I will tell you, ladies, you're going to love it. Number one, because it's Kevin Costner. Number two, don't worry about that turn out. Number two, because of the scenery. But number three, his daughter Beth will be your new spirit animal.
She is tough.
Drinks vinegar and pisses fire.
Yeah, she's tough.
She's like John Wayne toilet paper. Tough from hell and don't take shit off nobody. And during this quarantine, we've all had to get John Wayne toilet paper.
Yeah, she is tough. She's something else. That's for sure.
And there's going to be some characters in there that you're going to recognize, and I would be hard-pressed if you and I didn't bring it up. If you guys aren't Ryan Bingham fans, you're going to be after watching this, and you're going to hear some of his music during the seasons. And go check him out. You're not going to be disappointed. We're huge fans. And I just feel like there's a chance he's gonna make a comeback somehow, some way.
So yeah, and since this is Sips, Riffs, and Flix, we talk about music and movies and everything. I did not know who Ryan Bingham was at all, and then there was a episode where he's playing guitar and singing, and you can just tell, like, you could tell it was him singing, and I was like, surely this guy has music. And then I talked to you, and you were like, oh. He was like, yeah, you got to check him out. And I'm serious for, like, I mean, it's been going on well over, years. I was going to say about 2 years now. Yeah. And I still listen to something by him almost daily.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
His music's so good.
We were killing him this past weekend in Virginia at Lake Anna.
You should, anybody who has not heard of Ryan Bingham, go check it out and just go ahead and go to his live album and just start listening to it. It is so good. Gosh,
he has a YouTube thing going on with this, Cantina Quarantine, where he has episodes daily on YouTube too.
Yeah.
But he has a really cool character. But
Rip is the best character.
God, isn't he though?
He's so tough, guys. I feel like Rip when I'm drinking Buffalo Trace.
like if I could be a man, I'd be Rip.
He's super cool.
why do I feel like if I'm a man to do this? I don't know. But he is tough. But you guys are going to remember him from Higher Learning.
Yeah.
That was his original character. But there's something. But from there, that's how we remember him. We used to watch that in high school.
Yeah.
But it's interesting the dynamic that he's really treated like an outcast.
Yes.
I mean, he is because he's not blood.
Right.
But yet, you're going to find out he has a special spot in the family.
He does.
He does.
And his character has grown tremendously.
But you know what, though? I think there's going to be a twist coming because you haven't seen this episode, but he is having a chat with Kevin Costner. And Rip actually breaks open that hard, dusty cowboy shell. And then, you know what? I think something, there could be, I could totally be wrong. I think there's going to be a twist.
Well,
Yellowstone is shit.
So
I'm sorry.
It's so good.
It's very well written, shot well.
I'm just trying to think of, I would say it's probably my favorite show maybe ever.
Ever? That's
but,
a big statement.
But it's also still going on.
Right.
I mean, it could take a turn and turn out to be stupid. I don't know. Because, kind of like The Sopranos.
Did that turn out to be stupid?
It was like everybody's favorite show, and then the way it ended, everybody hated it, and everybody hates The Sopranos now.
So well, funny you mentioned that because actually The Sopranos became, during this quarantine, the number 2 most streamed TV series on HBO.
I didn't know that.
That's right. I think it outperformed Game of Thrones, or maybe Game of Thrones was 1, but they were number 2. I cannot remember how it ends, but I do know that I want to go back and visit Sopranos.
So
don't tell me.
So I have something to tell.
Okay.
I've seen the first season maybe of Sopranos. Nothing. Never watched it. And I've seen every Mafia movie. I've read pretty much every Mafia book. The Sopranos did not do it for me when I tried it.
Okay. Have you tried the first season?
I want to say I've seen like maybe half of the first season, and I just stopped and I never watched it again.
Okay, you got to get through the first season because it is going to blow your mind. Like James Gandolfini and his character.
Now, he's one of my favorite actors, too. I really did hate when he passed away. He's one of my favorite actors.
If you think about it, Breaking Bad started off so slow, but they were building the characters.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, I don't think the character development is as deep and thought out in The Sopranos. I think they were trying to figure out what they were going to do with it. Are they going to make it a comedy? Or are they going to make this? But they found their stride. And it, to this day, stands the test of time. I think if you go back and revisit it.
Maybe I will.
No, there's not a maybe. You have to do it. And then we'll do it together.
You know what I was afraid of?
That we need to quit our jobs and just watch movies and drink and listen to music full time?
I will. Okay. Thank you to our sponsors who have allowed us to do that, like the Halloween Hobble. Hey, new marketing strategy. I just call out sponsors until it happens, basically.
Right.
So thank you, Drew, at Halloween Hobble.
And thank you, Buffalo Trace. I mean, if you're going to shoot for the moon, you might as well shoot for it.
So real quick, this is kind of my thing with Sopranos, and I might be out of line by saying this, but this is just how I felt about it at the time. I was so big into Mafia movies, true story Mafia. Like I've probably read every book that's been written.
There's a lot of books.
It is either about the Mafia or written by Mafia members. There's
at least 7.
Sammy the Bull Gravano has a book. Read it. The Henry Hill story, like all that was based on which one is that? Goodfellas. I read all that stuff. I was afraid that The Sopranos was gonna be so Hollywood that it would take away from the Mafia.
Sopranos has taken the test of time that you could watch it, maybe minus what their clothes are, because it's probably 20 years ago, 15 years ago. It plugs right in. I think. Well, I haven't watched it. I can't remember how it ended, but it plugs right in. I don't think you're going to be disappointed.
Well,
I really don't.
Well, and I just remember I was so far behind, like it had ended, and I would be talking to people like, I never went and watched it. I should start, and they're like, "Don't even worry about it. It ends so stupid. I hate the ending." And I was just like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't watch it."
But maybe since I can't remember how it ended, but maybe it was such a good ending that it wasn't what everybody wanted.
Maybe it's such a good ending, it was bad.
Well, think about this. It was like, you know, you think at the end of the movie, the guy, not The Sopranos, for example, but the guy's going to get the girl, and at the end, he doesn't get the girl,
Yeah,
and he doesn't get hit by a bus.
I love endings like that, though.
Well, so maybe you'll like The Sopranos.
Maybe I will. Yeah, I don't. All right, I'm gonna watch it. I'll start it tonight. Probably not tonight. Actually.
Yeah, definitely not.
It's already like 10:30.
We're gonna have to get a flight, because with our new expanded budget,
that light is really bringing the bugs in. I almost want to sit in the dark again.
No, kind of. You can't even see our faces.
So I was sitting here trying to think of, and we could do this with any conversation we have, is just start going down rabbit holes. But there is a movie with James Gandolfini,
the Mexican,
and it is so good. And he is a warden at a prison.
Oh shit!
And the prisoners are trying to overtake the prison, and it ends up they fly the flag upside down. The Last Tower is what it's called,
which is very similar to the Glass Castle. The Last Castle. Sorry, do you remember that? That's with Robert Redford.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Wait, Robert Redford's the prisoner.
Is that the one?
Yeah, it's the Last Castle.
The Last Castle.
Where's my phone? I think you are right.
Trust me.
I think you're right. So is it the Last Castle or what I say? The Last Tower?
You said the Last. It's the Last Castle.
I think it is the Last Castle.
If you're wrong, you have to take a shot. If I'm wrong, I have to take a shot.
All right.
It's only fair.
The Last Castle. It is the Last Castle. Wait. Yep, it's the Last Castle. So, anywho, the Last Castle movie is wonderful.
It really is.
It's a super good movie. It takes a little while to get going, and it's a longer movie, but it is so good, and that solidified James Gandolfini for me. That movie, he's got a lot of good movies, but that movie is.
You know what? Cheers to you being wrong.
I don't think you're supposed to shoot down the bourbon like that, unless your name's Rip and you work on a ranch and beat people up for a living.
After you've been riding horses all day and you're just galled in your taint meat.
I'm gonna tell you what.
That's called.
If we ever go ahead.
No, go ahead.
If we ever get to 1 million subscribers,
well, if you're gonna set the bar, set it high.
I'll get branded. I'll get a brand.
Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but
but we have 1 million subscribers.
Don't you have a brand? I have a brand. It's gone. But didn't you get burned too?
No, I did not. No, I did not participate in y'all's cigar burning.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, children, if you're listening,
K-Head was smarter than
that. Don't burn yourselves with a cherry red cigar on your shoulder.
I actually would have ended up doing it, but I was not there. I came either later after y'all had done that, or I had left before it started. It was one or the other. I was not there during the time, or I'm sure I would have done it.
You hadn't drank enough Beast Light.
Probably
No.
not. I never did the Beast Light.
What?
I mean, I did.
That's really good.
I think I was drinking Miller Lite already then.
Back then?
Yeah. I've always been sponsored by Miller Lite. Thank you, Miller Lite, for the sponsorship.
Damn it, that's my favorite. So I don't know what the notes were supposed to be.
Should we get back to the Buffalo Trace
I don't
real
think
quick?
Anybody really cares. But
if you care, mention it down in the comments.
Yeah, but I will tell you though that this bad boy right here is hard to find. It's delicious. I can understand it, and for the value, if you can find it, buy it and buy as much as you can. Now I've heard a rumor, and if it's a damn lie, I didn't tell it. Somebody told it to me. That you can only buy one bottle at the ABC store at a time. Very
true. I've been told that. But apparently, they're not allowed to question this. If you buy it, go out to your car, and then come back in, even though you're the same person, you're technically a different customer.
I like it. I like a loophole.
So Buffalo Trace Bourbon, this deep amber whiskey, has a complex aroma of vanilla, mint, and molasses.
Maybe I've tasted molasses.
Pleasantly sweet to the taste with notes of brown sugar and spice that give way to oak, toffee, dark fruit, and I don't know. I've never seen that word. I'm so tired.
Where's that?
I'm so tired of reading stuff when people look at or watching me because I've never seen that word. This is the second time on this show that I have come to a word that I've never seen in my life.
All right, so it's not. I'll be the dummy. Anise.
It's
definitely not anal, but it's anise.
A-N-I-S-E. Michael Mackey, maybe you know what that means.
Shout out to Mike.
And this whiskey finishes long and smooth with serious depth.
It definitely finishes long and smooth, and it definitely has depth.
And here's what I like to do. So, we can always read what it's supposed to do. We can talk about alcohol content, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to be the guy that's like your normal, regular guy that just talks just down and dirty about it. So, as we've all established, I'm not a bourbon drinker. I have been drinking bourbon and Cokes lately, which I do like. But just straight bourbon, I just don't see myself sitting around drinking bourbon. However, I would sit and have a glass or two of this with friends, pour it over ice, and sip on it. And like you said, for the money, out of everything I've tasted, this bottle, we've tasted one on this show that's twice as much as this, and I would drink this all day long over that.
100%. And he's speaking about Jefferson's Oceans, Voyager 17.
Thank you for not sponsoring us anymore.
But guess what? I wouldn't walk across the street and drink it.
It's just not
It wasn't that great.
It's not that good. This Buffalo Trace, if I would call this like a very, very safe introductory bourbon, and introductory not meaning that that's what they are as a company or anything, right. But for a person that does not drink bourbon but wants to get into bourbon and start trying it, if you can find this, buy it.
Absolutely, 100%. It's delicious.
Do you need another sip?
I mean,
before we go off the air,
do
you want?
You know what?
Do you need some more ice? Do you need a skull?
Actually,
I think I dumped them out.
Actually, so I'll take more than you. Listen to this.
What's the deal with the neat thing? That just means no ice or nothing.
Right. It means,
why would anybody do that?
No ice.
I mean, to me, I think it's backwards. I would think that means dirty.
You would.
Like neat would be with ice because it's just more neat. Like it's cleaner to drink.
No, I don't know why it means neat, but it does. But I just know that I am not near Rip enough, the man from Yellowstone, to be drinking my whiskey neat yet. But one day, I may get there. But I'll let you know something, ladies and gentlemen. Today ain't the day.
You heard it here first.
Or, as the great meme says, not today.
All right, so there you have it, Buffalo Trace. Delicious. So, real quick too, I just keep kicking around different ideas. Like we've got to have a rating system.
We're working on it.
So anybody that's watching, listening, if you want to send us a message, you can put it on the Appetite for Discussion page. You can put it on this if you watch it on YouTube. Strangely enough, we have a lot more listeners on the actual podcast app, like on iTunes, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. If you are watching it on that, find me or Brandon on Facebook or whatever. Send us a message. Because what I wanted to say was, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. I have no idea.
But I will tell you what, though. What you said was, I was listening. It was passionate, and I was following.
Hold on. So I was thinking, you take over for a second. Let me think. I don't know. I have no idea. And it was good.
It was good. It's all right. You lost it. It's no big deal. However, if you like what you're seeing, hit the like button, subscribe button. Hey, leave a review. You can leave a review on the Appetite website, and you can leave it on the YouTube channel and all the Spotify, iTunes, all that, blah, 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 blah.
I know what I was going to say.
Go ahead.
Help us come up with a rating system.
Oh, yeah, the rating system.
So send comments, emails, text if you know us, whatever. Let's come up with a rating system. And I'm wanting to do like
I tell you what. How about we do this?
Okay. A contest.
Yes. If you come up with a rating system.
Free States Vegas t-shirt.
And we're going to get you a free Sips, Riffs, and Flix hat with a leather patch.
No way.
Boom. So you're going to get a shirt and you're going to get a hat.
Shout out to Tate Designs. Thank you for your
Tate Design
sponsorship.
Company. Thank you. So we're going to take all of the entries and whoever comes up with the best, how we rate movies, our songs, whiskeys, or whatever, you get a bunch of free shit.
Free States Vegas t-shirt, free Sips, Riffs, and Flix leather patch hat from Tate Design Company. So thank you, States Vegas, for always supplying my shirts.
Right. That's right. And by the way,
I get them out of my own garage, but whatever.
Yeah, and thank you to Mike Tyson for being the greatest of all time. Another story.
You're dead, Joe.
All right. Are we good?
Yeah. So, yes, to go back to the rating system. So, yes, contest, free shirt, free hat. Send us comments, text, emails, whatever you want to do. Something along the lines of, I've been trying to think of something like this, like store it, pour it, or ignore it. I've been trying to think all day about the third one, and it just hit me. Ignore it.
Ignore it.
So store it would be like, it could go a couple different ways. It could either be so good or expensive or whatever that you should store it and only bring it out with your friends.
Yeah.
Pour it would be like it's an everyday drink, or like it's good, pour it. It could also be store it because it sucks, pour it because it's good, and ignore it because it's awful. But then you get your store and ignore. Anyway, you see where I'm going with that. So we need some sort of rating.
I don't think
system.
if we went with that, you could be store it, which means because it's great and you break that thing out when you want to show people
just
something.
for
Ignore it.
Works
Works for movies, songs, and drinks. Ignore it.
So
pour it. I mean, if Def Leppard can pour some sugar on me, I can go for everything. So it can go for pour the movie, either way.
So we need a rating system that works for, I was thinking different rating system. We need a rating system that works for everything, like you said.
Yeah, it's got to be universal. We can't make it too complicated. KISS, baby. Keep it simple, stupid. That's how we do it here.
So a rating system that covers everything. So we need, but it can't be like a 2 out of 10 or a thumbs up. It's got to be something cool.
You'll know if you won or not.
Because you'll be wearing a cool shirt and hat. And everybody else will know, too.
That's right.
So, anywho, so Buffalo Trace, thank you for sponsoring us. We love it. We love Buffalo Trace. Thank you for sending us the free bottle, which they didn't, but you could. Thank you to Drew Combs, the Halloween Hobble, for sponsoring us.
Always.
Thank you to States Vegas.
And thank you to you for listening.
Yeah.
All right. And we good?
I think so, yeah. Yellowstone, watch it. Sopranos, I'll watch it. We'll talk about it later.
And Ryan Bingham, listen.
Please listen.
Boom.
All right. Thank y'all.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
We'll see you. Bye.